In this video, we're going to be looking at another problem and solution. So we want to write a program that asks the user for the mark obtained in a test, and then the program displays a failure message. If the student score below 30, a pass message for a mark greater than or equals to 70. Less than. For a mark less or equals 70, the person will say, oh, you've passed the test. And a distinction for a mark greater than 70, and then display, and then anything greater than 95, the student receive a message saying they have won a scholarship. So write this program, and also you have to remember to check to make sure that the user has not entered a number that is less than 0, and also a number that is not greater than 100, because the pass mark is, the mark of a student is usually between 0 and 100. So make sure that the student, you can do this in two ways. You can actually do the checks. Let's go to our program. In order for you to check if the student has got if the person has input a correct, you can check. Either I've done mine in the if statement. You can actually check to see if the correct number has been. You can use this last one to catch anything outside 0 and 1. Then then your range, you make sure it's from 0 up to 100. So I've created the range between 0 and 100. This is not the best way to do it. The best way to do it actually to check is to create an if statement that surrounds this scanf, so that whenever this scanf determines finds out that the person has entered a number greater than 100 or less than 0, then it's going to ask them to enter it again. So you can use that one to test before you actually obtain the input, then test it in the if statement. So that would be the best way to do it. So go ahead and implement that in your program. Okay, now let's see what I've done here. So I've used the if statement to check if the test mark is greater or equals to 0, and also is less than 30. So that's the first two Boolean expression. The first one checks to see if the mark is greater or equals to 0 or less than 30. If it's less than 30, then the person has failed the test. This second else if statement to check if the mark is greater or equals to 30. Remember, after less than, then it will be 30 or more, and then it's less than 70. If it's less than 70, then the person say they have passed the test. Then the third checks, else if check to make sure that the person has scored mark that is greater or equals to 70 but is less than 95. Then they get a message that say, wow, you have a distinction. Then last one check to see if the person score greater than 95 and is less than 100. You have to make sure that the mark is less, because if the mark is over 100, then that means the person has entered a wrong mark. So remember that because we've used the AND, if these two doesn't hold to be true, then it will send the message to the last else statement, which would then tell us that the number you enter is not correct. So let's run the program and give a couple of examples. So let's say the person enter -5 is now in the range. They're gonna get a message that said the number you've entered is not correct. Try again. So let's try again. Now let's enter. The person said they scored 15. He said, sorry, but you have failed the test. Okay, that works perfect. Now let's enter. The person get 45. Say, congratulations, you have passed the test. Then let's put 72. He said, wow, you have a distinction. And finally, let's put the person scored 96, and they say you have won this scholarship. So let's try to put something over 100. Let's say 120, and they said the number you entered is not correct. So I have checked for the lower and the upper limit in my if statement, but you can also do the if statement while obtaining the test mark. It's actually a very good practice to check the inputs before you assign it to the variable, rather than check it in the if statement. So implement that one in your program, and I hope this has shed more light on how to use the if-else statement and how to use these conditions all these Boolean and logical operators. So let me know if you have any more questions in the comment area, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.